Okay, welcome back to another video. This time, doing a little bit of work on the daily driving BA Falcon. Got some parts. I'll show you after the intro. Well, that sounds good. Alright, I've been driving the daily driver BA for a while now, and I've hit 3 kangaroos I think. One, give it this grey bonnet and really battered radiator support, if you can see in there. So I decided to put the ball bar on it, trim the bumper as best I could, and then it's hit another 2, which it survived, which is pretty good. But I've noticed a thing. They go under the car and it hits everything. So I've come up with an idea. And it involves all of these bits here. So we're going to a, what were they again? 235 65 17. We've got 2-inch strut spacers. Then we've got an inch coil spacer because it's actually an inch low in the rear. 25mm wheel spacers to clear the big tyres because I've already got a set on the rear and they fit, but they wouldn't clear the upper control arm on the front. Just there, if you can see, it was hitting that. So 25mm will make that work. And then I've also got lift coils, which I forgot to bring out. So they're in the house. There we go. 2-inch lift coils. So what makes this work-ish is the back of these is the same as a territory. All generations of territory, SS, SX, SY, whatever. So there's a little bit of information out there about lifting territories, but it is limited, which is why I decided to do this video, because there's no information about lifting BA Falcons. So, yeah. So basically, coils for the rear with a spacer, them tubes, because I'm putting a spacer on, the bottom of the coil is going to be higher than the aligner, so the tube becomes the aligner. 45mm or 48, can't remember. Weld that in the lower control arm, that does the rear. Then the strut spacers, the strut tops are the same as Prado, Hilux, BT50, Ford Ranger. They're all the same strut top. So they're just standard eBay strut spacers, territory 2-inch lift coils, and then they're just jab 25mm wheel spacers. Now if I went to a steeper offset wheel, I obviously wouldn't need the wheel spacers, but I'm running what I got. And it looks pretty meaty. That's pretty fat. The ABS Super doesn't like the fact I've got 6.5s and like 65 series and 15 series on the front. It's been throwing error codes for the last week, but still drives, so we'll just deal with that. Hopefully the rain stays away. Not real good looking weather. But I did just remember I need some more nuts. Oh no, I don't, because I've already got some. Yeah. Oh well, I guess I could take, yeah, whatever. Yeah, so for the wheel spacers you need shallow nuts. But the spacers come with shallow nuts and I forgot about that, so yeah. The other annoying thing is Ford uses a 1/2" by 20 stud, unlike anything else, so all the Jap spacers my brother's got and all my other friends have that don't work. One for the center bore, 2 the studs are all fucking different, so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to jack this up. I'm going to fit a front wheel spacer, grab the left-hand rear wheel off, put it on the front, make sure it clears, and if it does, which it should, because I tried a 20mm spacer and it was just rubbing, so 5mm should do it. If it clears, then we're going to blow it apart and do the lift. I'll probably start with the lift kit in the rear, because it's always been rear low, and then we'll put the spacers in the front. Anyway, I've got to go get a jack now and jack this up so I can fit stuff and things. Alright, got it jacked up. Got the big wheel off. Shows you how much bigger it is. Yep. So the RTV BA Utes, they don't even run a tyre this big. Probably because of the same issue, this upper control arm. The Territories run a taller tyre and can run a taller tyre because the knuckle, upper control arm, lower control arms are completely different design. So this is a lot higher on the Territory. I've heard you can put Territory subframes in it. If you're going to do that, you might as well all drive swap it, but meh, whatever. So I've got the wheel spacer bolted on. You can see the studs are hanging out. Now normally you'd say I'd have to cut them off, but, and I was thinking the same thing, but the wheel's got relieves in it, so if I don't have to cut the studs, even better. If I want to decide to turn this stock again and sell it to some nana, that ain't happening. So I'm going to offer up the wheel to the car. Hopefully it clears that upper control arm, and if it does, then we'll start undoing the strut, dropping it out. You can see while I'm lifting it, that's the sway bar mount. It's bent and it actually folded the sway bar link around that lower control arm from running over roadkill and kill on the road that I've killed. So I've got to also straighten that as well. Luckily, you know, it didn't bend any tie rods or anything because it's a rear steering rack, so it's all protected, but it shouldn't be too terrible to get the strut out. So I'm going to put that on now and we'll see if we clear. Oh yeah, right, so we just cleared the upper control arm, which is good, and it's probably not going to clear on turning, but this is stock height. But you can see why I grabbed some coil spacers as well, because can you sort of see how it's front high? It's always been front high. It's a Falcon thing. They look like they're towing an invisible box trailer. So the coil spacers with the 2-inch lift coils should hopefully sort that. Unless, because this is I did get a heavier spring rate because I do haul a fair bit of shit with this. When I pull the stock coils out, if they measure like 3 inches taller, I mightn't run the coil spacer, but we'll see. We'll see when I get it apart. Anyway, let's get back to the job at hand. Oh, I might start and see if it steers. It definitely won't. It definitely won't. Don't mind the mess. I just completed a 6-hour trip home last night and got home at 9 o'clock. So there is shit everywhere. So I've got to fix this too. Dash on crank. You got to push it into park to start. Oh, that was me. Also, me mate, I got it off fixed. The ignition barrel was zip ties, and now there's no return spring on the key, so you got to roll it back. You watch the dash lights, and that warning light goes away. You're good to go. Okay, let's see how she steers, eh? I'm guessing not well. Okay. It's into the guard. I'm going to guess that's probably the plastic liner it's into. Yeah, it is. Okay, well I can fix that, which I'm going to fix anyway. And we clear everything on the front, so that's alright. But once it comes up 2 inches, it'll probably clear it anyway. And I was worried the 25mm wheel spacers was going to make the wheels poke out heaps. Come on, get back straight, you girl. But it actually doesn't, it's not bad. So the same offset wheels, and only the sidewall's out. That's without a 25mm wheel spacer. You can see it's a fair bit under. Yeah, so that's why I got 4. I only needed 2, but I thought run square set, otherwise it'll be a wedge. And it ain't a speedway car, it's a daily car, so I'll just make it all square. If I don't like the idea of the wheel spacers, I'll probably go to a steel, heavier offset wheel. But have a look at them. These Just Jap ones, they're pretty nice. They're actually billet, not cast, so that's good. They're machined. They've got good 10.9 rated studs. So I think the set of 4 wheel spacers shipped was like $200, so whatever. I'm going to Loctite and torque the inner wheel spacer nuts, because that's one big issue with wheel spacers, is they fall off. and once the wheels are on, they're probably not coming back off for a while. Anyway, let's get it jacked back up and get the bonnet open, which is an ordeal. Since the last or the first kangaroo strike, it's a bit of an issue. Get it jacked back up, we'll get this strut out, put the spacer on it, and see how tall it is. I think I've got to disconnect the sway bar and a few other things to get the arms dropped down enough, but we'll see. We'll see. Bastard. There we go, that can sit there. There we go, we've got our strut top. And now the sway bar. So we can squeeze this in up here. There we go. This is just so the arms will drop down low enough to do it to both sides. Alright, sway bar disconnect. See if we get this strut out. It doesn't even really need to come out, it's just got to come down so I can put the spacer on. This is going to be annoying, isn't it? It's binding up on something. I'll get a crowbar and see if I can prise it down. Right, so we've got a bit of a gap there, but that's all of the down it wants to give me. So I'm thinking if I can crowbar it, I might get something. Okay. Oh, it really doesn't want to come out, does it? Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I got it. I think it's binding up on these bushes because they've got a sleeve in them. So I'm going to undo them bolts and that should hopefully let it swing down. Yeah. Alright, I worked it out. So it wasn't a low control arm at all. The bottom joint's maxed out on angle, so you just got to pull the cross bolt out and slide that out, tip the knuckle down, and the strut should come out easy peasy. That does nothing to do with wheel alignment or anything, because the camber's adjusted from there. But I'm going to have to adjust toe once the lift's in anyway, because, you know, higher makes the tie rod arm shorter. So I'm going to crowbar that the rest of the way out, and then we'll put the spacer in. And it's starting to rain, which is awesome. Okay, a bit of a minor issue, but it's fixable. The thread on the strut spacer is different than the top of the strut. So I just got to use the strut nuts there, which is fine, but this washer flange on it is too big. So I'm going to wind that onto a bolt, use the bench grinder and buff them down so they fit into there, and then we can put the strut spacer in. I might go pull the other three off too while I'm here. Alright, we've got the struts out. Obviously when you put the strut tops on, it rolls the bolt pattern around 180, so it's either switch them left to right or just take them out and turn them around. So I'm going to put the caps on and see what, if I can switch them left to right. If not, I'll just fucking put them in backwards. It'll be right. They're universal, like the bolt holes centered to that, so we'll see how this goes. Drive side came out easy. Passenger side was an absolute pain in the ass, but we got there. Get back this nut off a bit, so I'll do that back up because I was trying to cheat it and just rotate. Oh, look at that redback spider. It's going to be a bit of fiddling. Although this one did come out pretty easy. Okay. Alright, we're winning here. Okay, what did I do with the big bolt? Ah, it's on the other side. Okay, now put the bolt in, if I can get it to line up. Alright, this is going to take a bit more doing. Now what would be real handy is another jack. But alas, I don't have one of them. Okay, just sit there for a minute. Is it that one? Not that one. That one. See if I can wind it in. Fuck me. Do I have anything I can leave it with? Need that. Around just a hair. There we go. Okay. Now, nut. Did I not bring the spanner over? Of course I did. That's fine. Oh, we can put this together then. Or I might have to do the top up first to get it up in position, and then we'll do this fuck around up. The old Ford scissor jack comes in clutch. We've got it done. So I just bumped it up a bit more to roughly ride height, and I've done the lower shock bolt up. That's one side done. Let down and go and put the other side on. Yeah. Oh yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Yep. Mad. Still don't think it's going to clear on turn, but I think I can cut the sill, like the, not the sill, the side skirt down a bit. I sort of popped this one off to have a look, and like up to here is all void. So I can probably cut the side skirt off and trim a bit of the guard and then put that back on a bit further back, and it'll blend back in up here. So I'll have the originals there, and then there's a tab down in the bottom there. I can probably pick up one of these bolt holes in there, and that'll bring it back to here. So yeah, I'll probably do that, but I think it's looking pretty good. Nice bit of clearance, and then more in the back and we'll be right. I'll start it and we'll see if it grabs the guard. Why not? Hey? This is interesting. Why no starty start? Ah. Oh no, this thing's always started forever. Okay, well that's an issue that I'm going to have to deal with. Sick. Alright, we sorted out the field issue. It turns out I tripped the inertia switch when I pulled the passenger side end guard out, and it's just on the other side of that. So now I'm doing a bit of clearancing. I'm going to leave the front should be fine, but that's how much I've cut off the flare or the skirt. So it's flush to this inner structure here. I'm going to fold that tab back out, and that'll be my inner mount. That will go into that hole. So now I'm just folding this tab. I'm going to come along and see if I can crease it and fold it in. So I want to try and keep this low guard mount because it gets a bit floppy. So we'll see how we go with that. I mean, it doesn't have to be too pretty there because it's covered by this mud flap. But I don't want to be fucking horrible. But yeah. Alright, I kind of want to be lazy and not take the mud flap off. I'm going to see if I can just like cut around it. Okay, cuts pretty good actually. I'll sharpen this shed knife. She's a bit fucking dull. Alright, we sorted out the fuel issue. It turns out I tripped the inertia switch when I pulled the passenger side end guard out, and it's just on the other side of that. So now I'm doing a bit of clearancing. I'm going to leave the front should be fine, but that's how much I've cut off the flare, or the skirt. So it's flush to this inner structure here. I'm going to fold that tab back out, and that'll be my inner mount. That will go into that hole. So now I'm just folding this tab. I'm going to come along and see if I can crease it and fold it in. So I want to try and keep this low guard mount because it gets a bit floppy. So we'll see how we go with that. I mean, it doesn't have to be too pretty there because it's covered by this mud flap. But I don't want to be fucking horrible. But yeah. Oh. Put that there. Just so I can probably going to have to re-drill that hole for the mount, but that's alright. Now if I get it the crease there, I'll be pretty happy. Oh, fuck, let's get a little bit more through here. Okay. I just need to. I need like. What do I have? I don't think I've got anything that's going to do that job, so let's just make it work with a bit of most pliers. Okay. Alright. Okay. Now I can probably tune it in. Okay. All right. Yep. I don't think I moved the guard back at all, so that's all right. cool. Alright, I'm liking that. I've got to get it off this back mount. Make that work. Okay. I think that's going to be pretty good. Bend this mount back a bit. The factory guard mount. And then get hold of that. Let's just test that there. I'll pinch it. Okay. Now I can get all these plugs out of here. I can eyeball up. Mud flash. So some of them are definitely going to have to be tech screws now, but I think that's gained me a fair bit of clearance, so it should probably not interfere too terribly with the tyre. Yeah, I can just tech screw that there. I've got one factory mount, drill another hole there for another mount there, and then tech screw at the bottom, tech screw up underneath it, and that'll be that done. So I gotta get me drill and drill bits and fun stuff and try and eyeball out where I want that hole. Oh yeah, looks like I haven't even played with it. How good. I like it. I think we're going to clear. That's looking good. Oh yeah. Oh, we've got miles around. And it looks stock. Fucking how good. Alright, that's the front actually finished. Both front wheels are on. All the bolts are done up. And the guards are clearance. So, oh, look at that. Much taller. I like it. No. I'm going to flip it around now. So we're going to tack the back. I could work on it there, but it's close to the fence, close to the Diatsuz, both of them. So you just sit tight there, I'll flip it around. See what it looks like rolling, eh? No. Did it look cool driving? Felt cool. Well, no, it didn't feel like a Falcon, but whatever. Oh, thank you. Rinky-dink little wheel, eh? Get that off there. Okay, we're attacking it. Already got the wheel spacer on. No big deal there. So, what we're going to do is disconnect the shock and do the same to saddles for the sway bar. And then the lower control arm bolt. That'll let this lower control arm travel free and we can put the coil in. So I'm going to have a go at that now. Oh, these bolts are fucking tight. Oh, okay, I'd already started rattling that one. Oh, no. Sick. That's one side, and then the shock bolt. Come here. There we go. Pop the shock out. You can already see the arm's dropped a fair bit, but the spring's still under tension. So we need to get it off tension. So I'll go and do the sway bar on the other side, knock that lower control arm bolt out, and we should be right. Alright, sway bar's off. I just pulled the shock out for a bit more clearance. I had to brush this loose, she was pretty tight, but now I'm just going to wind it out and we should have a free arm. Okay, I'll just wind that, that's fine too. Well, I'll wind that out and then you'll see. Alright, and bolt out, and I've got a nice loose coil. So that comes out. Thank you. Look at that puny little thing. Gonna be pretty mad with them ones in there. So I'm going to size these up with the other ones now and see whether or not I've got to run these coil spacers. So the idea of the pipe is the pipe slides into here, into that bore, and then you weld around it. Then this goes on top of the spacer because it's got the orientation little clocking thing. It matters too much because it's got it on the top too. And then that'll give you your inch space. But hopefully I can get away with just running the lift coils. We'll see. I'll measure them up now. Right, so they're the same length. So the height must come obviously because that's a stiffer spring. So, do I gamble and not run the spacer? Or run the spacer anyway? I'm going to run the spacer. Fuck it. Yep. Let's do it. Now I better get the welder out, sitting over there in retirement, and we'll weld these tubes in. I'll show you how to do that. Right, we're getting serious now. So I've just got it tacked into position, but that's what we're aiming for. It's going to go in there, in the middle. So I'll set the camera up and we'll weld around that, do it the same to the other side, and put this thing back together. It's been a while since I've had this on. There we have it, welded on. Not the prettiest welds and welding gal pipe, but she's alright. Got a bit of pano in there. And then we're painting black, so it hides it a bit. Then coil spacer, original coil bottom, and then the coil will line up on that. So, weld the other side and put it together. Oh yeah, so this is just a test fit. I still haven't done the other side, but just making sure it fits in. And yeah, it fits in. Obviously, because the arm's on such an angle, it's going to look a little bit cattywampus until it gets some weight on it, but yeah. Mad. Right, I've still got to do the shocks and tighten the brake line, but I wanted to see what it looked like, so. What we got? Huh, that was a bit high. Okay. Interesting. Reckon that'll settle? So fucking fist and a half. 3/4 of a fist. Fuck. Well. I'm going to guess it doesn't need that fucking spacer I put in there. All that bit of tube I welded in there. Now I'll pull it back apart, we'll take all that off and I'll put the coils back in it and we'll put it back down. If I do that I can probably run the stock shocks. Fuck. She's a little too reverse drag car-y. Oh, I suppose 80s drag car was high in the back, but that might be a little red hot for the cops. Thought I'd shout at a car wash. It's probably the first one it's had in God knows how long. Well, there we have it. Done. Actually handles pretty good. Handles just like a Falcon. Who would have ever guessed it? Yeah. No scrubbing, no clunking. Back end clunks a little bit coming off the drops, but it's got a heavier spring in it. It does settle down a little bit compared to what it was. The front's basically the same. Yeah. Super happy with it, actually came out really nice. That's what I wanted. RTV sedan. So, came out exactly right. Rear wheel looks a little funny in the wheel arch. But I'm just going to ignore that. Everything else seems pretty good. So, yeah. I guess that'll do it for this video. It's a Series 1 BA Falcon 2-inch lift and 29s installed in a day. Perfect. Oh, we'll catch us on the next one. I'll probably be playing with the trike. I've got some bits for it. We'll see how we go.